Welcome back to Sailing El Jaleo. Last week when we left off, we were in North Carolina, and we had just anchored for the night in the North River. From there, we were going to cross Albemarle Sound and head down the Alligator River. From there, we go through the Alligator River, Pungo River Canal, and we go from there into the Pungo River. From the Pungo River, we cross the Pamlico River. We go past Hoboken in a little canal. I can never remember the name of that canal. And from there we get into the Bay River, which is knocking on the door of Pamlico Sound. I'm not sure if we'll get that far this week, but we might as well go ahead and get right into it. Grab a drink, climb aboard, and let's get going. I love early mornings, as odd as that might sound. I love getting up before sunrise. I love getting everything ready to go and getting on the road just as the sun is coming up or just slightly before it. Watching that sunrise and being on the move when everyone else is still asleep, it's such a magical time of morning. It's that eternal optimism of never knowing what the day may bring and just hoping for the best. I absolutely love it. And, I always used to be a night person, and I could never get up in the morning. And it's funny, I don't know if it's me getting older or living on a sailboat, but I'm exactly the opposite now. I'm always in bed by 8 o'clock, and I'm usually up by 4:30, so it's been a complete reversal. But I love the morning. The sunrise is just magical. It's especially over the water. I love it. As we left the North River, we prepared to cross Albemarle Sound. It's about 12 miles to get across, so it is a pretty sizable body of water, and it can get a little bit rough, but today was projected to be calm. It would have been nice if we had a little bit of wind so we could have sailed across it, but this fall has been very calm across the board. It's been an abnormally calm fall, actually, and from a wind perspective. So we haven't been able to sail a lot, but this time of year, the name of the game for us is to get as far south as fast as possible, just because we don't like freezing our tuchus off. I've done enough of that in the past, so we're trying to stay with the warm weather, and unfortunately that means a lot of motoring this fall. Making it across the Albemarle Sound this year was a little bit bittersweet. This would be one of our last 4 transits through the Alligator River Swing Bridge. Unfortunately, the Alligator River Swing Bridge is being replaced by a fixed bridge, and every time that happens, the Intracoastal Waterway loses a little piece of its soul. Once this bridge is replaced, I believe we're down to right around 10 bridges, mechanical bridges, and they're dropping fast. So we've lost several in the last few years, and unfortunately this beauty is going away as well. And for this one I can understand. It's in the middle of nowhere. It goes across the Alligator River across the Alligator River, and when it can't open in winds above 25 miles per hour, and if the bridge can't open, then it's a 4-hour drive to get around it. So it's a real inconvenience to the people that live in the area. So, especially for an emergency scenario, if you needed to get through there like an ambulance or something, I don't know if they would make an exception for that. But, it is a significant hindrance to the local community. So I can understand replacing this one. The rest of them are absolutely wonderful. The good thing about this is not all of them are getting replaced by fixed bridges. Right now the Onslow Beach Bridge is being replaced by another, I believe it's a swing bridge. It might be a bascule bridge. I'm not 100% sure yet what they're putting in there. But they are replacing a mechanical bridge with a mechanical bridge, which is awesome. I've talked about bridges a lot in the past. It used to piss me off waiting for them. I have absolutely no problem waiting for them now, just because they're so amazing. I love the technology. It's old technology, but it's beautiful. And it really is a part of transiting the Intracoastal Waterway, and we're losing that history. So, where I'm sitting now, I've only got 3 more chances to go through this bridge before it's replaced, and I'll be enjoying each one. As we headed down the Alligator River, the wind was right on our stern, and since we don't have a whisker pole, I couldn't use the head sail, and to get the mainsail up by myself would be a pain in the butt, so we just kept motoring down the river. The wind was very light, even though it was on our stern, and As we got down to the bottom of Alligator River and started to cross the river, we changed our angle in relationship to the wind, and the wind had actually picked up a little bit by that point, so we were able to do a little bit of sailing, which was nice. And we pulled into our anchorage for the night. Normally we would stay at Tuckahoe Point, but it was looking like it was getting pretty busy over there. There were already 6 or 7 boats anchored over there. Well, maybe not that many, maybe 5-ish. But getting in there, it's not tricky, but there were already plenty of boats there. And we decided to try a new anchorage, so we stopped at Deep Point for the night, which is about 2 miles shy of where we normally would have stayed, but the anchorage was beautiful. After a wonderful evening at Deep Point, we got up early the next morning to get back on the road, and we quickly discovered that it shouldn't have been called Alligator River, it should have been called Mosquito River. Although judging from some of the bites I got on my legs, or I should call them welts, I think they might have been little flying alligators, so it was pretty brutal. I think on the camera you can actually see some mosquitoes quickly going across the lens. It's in time lapse, so they go by quickly, but they're there. So it was a carnivorous morning, let's just put it that way, but or a blood-sucking morning, I guess I should say. I'm lucky I didn't get insanguinated, but anyway, another absolutely beautiful sunrise, beautiful morning, and we got back on the road to go through the Alligator River Pungo River Canal, and it's basically just a long ditch. It's a dog leg. It's got 2 stretches, and it connects the Pungo River to the Alligator River, and I don't know exactly how long it is. From memory, I'm guessing it's somewhere in the 12 to 16 mile range, somewhere right in there. So it is a little bit longer of a canal that you have to motor through. And it was right around this time. I mean, I had actually known about the problem now since we left Delaware City, but I don't think I've brought it up yet. So our trusty steed Frank, our car, as it were, our dinghy had a hole in him. So when we left Delaware City, I quickly realized that Frank was losing air, and this was a revelation because last year when I put Frank away, he was perfectly fine. So I didn't know where the hole was. It was not a massive leak. It wasn't leaking quickly. If I pumped Frank up every morning, he would last until the following morning, and he was not in any danger of sinking or anything like that. Even with the outboard on him, he had plenty of air. It's just his rear, I don't know what you call them, members would start to crinkle in a little bit by the bulkhead there, or the transom, I guess it would be. And so I knew we had a problem there, and it wasn't until later on in the trip that I was able to find the leak and actually get it repaired. So it was a little bit of a nuisance as we went along, but at least Frank wasn't sinking, and we didn't lose beans as a result. After we made our way through the Alligator River Pungo River Canal, we spilled out into the Pungo River, and the water was absolute glass. It was just super calm. There was no wind. It was a nice reflection of the sky. It was beautiful to look at. Unfortunately, another motoring situation, so we motored our way down the Pungo River, and we were getting close to the Pamlico River, but we knew we had to find a spot. We had some high wind coming in the next day, and it was a perfect opportunity to kind of hunker down and make a video and get it uploaded. So we decided to try a new anchorage that we had never been to before, and that was up in Slade Creek. It looked like a very unpopulated place, and we went all the way up to Slade Creek. We were expecting wind from a certain direction, so we went around the corner and anchored. We knew we'd have good protection there. And thankfully we had no reception going up Slade Creek, but once we got up Slade Creek, we actually had 2 bars of reception on my cell phone. So the next day I was able to create a video, and then it took about 12 hours to get it uploaded. I actually had to take my cell phone and put it in a bag and tape it to the mast up as high as I could to get a better reception, and thankfully I think it was around 3 o'clock in the morning it finally uploaded, and that was the morning that it was supposed to be out. So that was a close call, but that happens from time to time. That evening we enjoyed a beautiful sunset with not another human being in sight, just the way we like it. And that's all we have time for this week. I would like to give a massive shout out to my Patreon crew. Without your guys' support, I wouldn't make these videos. And my Patreon crew is Joan and Juddy Judnick, Val and Chris Alcorn, Denise and Eli Sackett, Sherry Erickson, Deb Shaw, Matthew Spotton, Peter Allen, and Natalie Linehan. Thank you guys so very much. Your support really means the world to me. I do have one legacy patron member, and her name is Joan Lindbow. Unfortunately, she has passed on, but she lives on in our hearts forever. We really miss you, Joan. If you are interested in joining our Patreon crew, there is a link in the description down below, and that'll take you to our Patreon page where you can sign up. And there are hundreds, literally hundreds of extra videos and photos of our travels, and I try and keep everything there up to date and post at least once or twice a week, so it gives you a little peek behind the curtain. If you do like our videos, please like, comment, and subscribe. That'll help us out more than you'll ever know, and that actually doesn't cost you anything, so hit that like button. Alrighty, I hope you all are well, and we'll see you next week.